welcome to Grinding Meeting. I'm the Expert Layman, and of course a rain and fog had to roll in right at the time that I started streaming. Figures. Yeah, ARK. Love this game. Look at this. It still looks cool in the rain. I don't know, it's a little different from World of Warcraft. I feel like when I'm in World of Warcraft, it's like I need to be accomplishing something. Whereas ARK, it's a little bit more, I don't know, open. Oh my god, I don't know what happened, but I did a restart before my stream, which is usually a good idea. Clear up resources, less bugs, things like that. Did not notice, for whatever reason, I could not get the stream to work. I just kept hitting resource limits, like on OBS. For whatever reason, when I restarted, my CPU was, all my cores were running at 1/3 speed, like I'd been throttled for heat. I think I've seen this before, but it was really weird and freaking me out. And then I just noticed, oh, I should be running at 4 gigahertz. I'm running at like 1.3. That's probably not good. The only thing I was going to accomplish talking about today, or want to make sure to accomplish, is the freaking toilet paper thing. Hey, let me give me just a second to check my stream. I think I can. I've been paranoid that I don't want to take the time to make sure that I'm, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I do love ARK. Oh, and I had a lot of fun getting the server set up. I set up my own private dedicated server. Well, dead air. That. I think I can. I've been paranoid that I don't. Okay, I think we're good. Toilet paper. Why have people chosen toilet paper? Well, there's really two explanations, and one is pretty much well covered. It's people were going to pick something to gather around and make a big deal out of, and whatever it was, that's what everybody was going to dogpile onto. But I'm going to try to explain why it was toilet paper. Essentially, you're going to have like, oh crap. You're going to have like a visceral reaction to something. Oh, wow. You can watch me starve alive. You're going to have a visceral reaction to something. It's got to be based on some type of, I don't want to say trauma, but, you know, some type of unpleasant experience. And we just don't have that many, you know? First world people, you got it pretty freaking easy. So when you're like, oh my god, there's going to be a shortage, you'll subconsciously start going through all the times that you had an unpleasant experience because you were lacking something. And I'm sorry, Americans, Europeans, the most traumatic experiences people are apparently having related to shortage is a memory of that time you took a crap and didn't have any toilet paper. Apparently that is the most visceral memory, the most common visceral memory people have. And I think that's why everybody decided that was the thing they were worried about. Because, you know, who's got an experience of like going, how many people have an experience of actually going to bed hungry? You know, it's not something that happens very often. Okay. You know, we've been really thirsty, but usually it's because we were doing something. Like there's water available everywhere, you know. Shelter for most of us, not really much of a problem. Like, just being able to wipe your butt is apparently the thing. Okay, that's it. Stream's over. Thanks everybody for coming. No, I think I'll bitch a little bit about getting the server set up before I go. I just made my raft. I'm really happy about that. Be able to take my raft around, which I'm not going to do now. Start working on stone. I take a different pace with this. I just kind of do it. Do whatever I feel like doing. But getting the server set up. I've been wanting to get my... I've had a private server set up a couple of times once or a couple of times on an old laptop, the one I'm using right now. And one time I did it on, they have like a service. Oh, I hate those things. I should be able to one-shot them. Yeah. And Nitrado or Nitrado, Nitrado. I didn't really have any problems with them in the past. But they were apparently really overloaded, and they're basically following the airline model of selling more seats to the plane than there are seats in the plane. So before, you go on the website, you pay your money, you basically have an instant server. They install it right on the spot, boom, you're ready to go, like minutes. Well, after an hour, it was still installing. So I sent them an email. Said, hey, your instant server, still not ready. If it's still not ready in 2 hours, I'm gonna charge this back because you didn't provide what you were selling. And then right before the 2 hour mark, it finished installing. And a button came up because you have like a dash, like you have an interface for controlling your server. Well, I'm confusing the two. There's like a dashboard where you can monitor, you know, how the server is doing and stuff. And then there's a button there that lets you access the dashboard. Or it doesn't matter. Anyway, the graphs that are coming through, you'd start the server, shut it down, and none of the graphs would change. Whatever this web page was that was supposed to be the thing controlling my server wasn't connected to crap. And the server, even when it said it was up, you'd search for it on, well, in-game, in ARK, but also you could search directly for the IP using like the Steam server search tool thing, and it's not there. So I got like a fake interface, a server that they're saying is up, but it's not up. And you can't even find the server on their own website, search for servers. And then I said, okay, at the 4 hour, you know, I gave another ultimatum, like, hey, you're bullshitting me. You're trying to make me think I have something I don't have. I'm setting my own server. Screw you guys. And then like a couple hours later, it's like, oh, it looks like your server's up and you're all good to go. And it's like, I was already done. I'm not doing that. And then the next day, you know, they're like, well, we saw that you were unhappy with our service, so we're you know, your satisfaction is important, so we're gonna not charge you for what we didn't provide. You know, it's ridiculous. And that was sad because that was actually a pretty cool service. Like, you didn't really have to know a whole lot. It was just like clicking, you know, checking boxes and stuff, like setting up your own server, like getting it to go through your firewall, and that is a bit of a pain in the ass. And I didn't actually succeed technically. Yes, I'm on my own server, and yes, I'm playing, but I didn't realize when I got my God internet, when I got my gigabit internet, you don't actually get a static IP with that, and you kind of need a static IP for hosting a server. So I'll just be playing on this on my own for a while. If for some reason enough people want to join me, I can pay $10 a month, which is what it costs. if you want to, yeah, it's a nominal fee for having your own what do you call it, static IP address. God, this game's pretty, and I had to dial the graphics back a bit. Just to make sure the stream was stable. But it still looks pretty damn good. And to be honest, you could make it look prettier, but with YouTube streaming, it would just be lost in the stream anyway, so not much point in making it look that much prettier for me than it's going to look for you guys anyway. But I do love this game, and I love the randomness of it. Like, you can just be doing your own thing, and just freaking God decides, you deserve a T-Rex! Like earlier, just middle of nowhere, just two raptors just wandered along the beach, said, hey, let's f this guy up. Yeah, they made some upgrades to the game. When I run my server, when I've run it in the past, I just leave it vanilla for the most part. Like, yes, I like having crosshairs. I like being able to see myself on the map. It helps. I like seeing damage, hit indicators, but I don't go through and like nerf. Okay. How do you get rid of the map? There we go. I don't nerf any of like, you know, how long it takes you to get hungry or how much damage you do or like how long it takes to tame. Although I did make an adjustment to taming in the past, but that was a while ago. And after... It shouldn't take 4 hours to tame a T-Rex in real time. That's just ridiculous. And have to defend the corpse the whole time and a couple hundred... Well, at least 100 narcotics. Just to keep him under the whole time. It was freaking ridiculous. At that point I nerfed it, but I imagine the developers themselves have probably nerfed it past the point that I put it already. And I've noticed a few things that work better. Like, if you put something in the wrong spot, it gives you like 30 seconds or a minute or whatever to pick it up and do what you wanted to with it, which is really nice, because that did really suck, you know. You know how many times, I think it was a fireplace or something, I dropped it in the wrong spot, and it was just like a little kid dropping his ice cream. You just stare at it for a second. Oh. So, I was gonna work stone, but you typically don't want to go too far from your place at night, because you can just run into stuff and get lost. I'm like, what is that little noise I'm hearing in the background occasionally? I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't quite get my phone turned all the way down. But yeah, I've been into stone for a while. I just wanted to finish the wood building. That's good enough for here. What I'm going to do is, just going to build up a ton of, I'm going to build my freaking battle boat. If they still let you do that. God, I hope you can still do that, where you just basically encase the thing in stone. And I've had so much fun just because then you have a base of operations. You can put like a freaking bed in there. You can put, lots of storage area and all the stuff you need for crafting. You basically move your base around that way. So what I'll probably do is just build the boat up. And then I'll try to establish a beachhead up north, right by the frost line, where you can get like cool creatures. Suppose I could talk about other stuff, but didn't really have anything else planned. Wanted to bitch about getting the server set it up. Wanted to bitch about Nitrado and. Hey, what am I missing to fix my frickin'... wood! There's only some wood. Yeah, I put a lot into run speed just because it's really helpful to be able to run away from stuff. And like the video I posted earlier today where I killed the Bronto, like... it's not guaranteed because, like, as you're, like, kiting them around, it's really easy to run into stuff and get yourself killed. So you gotta, like, clear the beach of anything hostile of the path you tend to take him down. And either I missed one or it spawned, because, like, right through the middle of my run, there's freaking Dilophosaur right there ready to spit at me. Well, nothing I can really eat. What was I building? Oh, I was making stone foundations for the boat. Also, I should empty my bags here. I don't know. I think I'm going to call it here. I want to make just a short one, get Like, it's hard for me to stream, it's hard for me to get motivated, and just doing it once makes it a lot easier. And I do love this. I love, you know, the building thing is fun. And having my own server, like, I don't, like, give myself any free stuff. But if something bad happens, I actually have the power to correct what went wrong. Like, I got one of those like eagle birds as a mount. It was freaking awesome. And then I logged back into my server one day, and the freaking thing is about 100 yards up in the sky. Don't know how it got up there, but it's just parked up there, and it's too far away to whistle to him. And I'm like, do I build a tower up to him? Do I try to tame another one? Like, no, screw it. I just looked it up, gave myself the cheat code, made myself fly, went up there, whistled, brought him back down. Like, and it's nice to be able to do that, but I don't abuse it, because if you make things easier, and this is what happened on a server. Oh, god damn it, why do I keep doing this? On a, when I had some friends on my server, everybody just wanted, hey, can you make this easier? Can you make this easier? It's like I suddenly had a ton of compassion for game developers, because everybody just wants everything for free. Like, they don't understand that the work you put into getting stuff adds value to it. And it's like, dude, if you just get everything you want, why would you continue to play the game? You're like, okay, now I'm done with this. So there's, I don't know, you're kind of like undermining your own efforts. And I did have somebody, like, I was at work and they're like, hey, this thing happened and I can't get to it, or like, and it's like, hey, can I get the admin password just so I can, you know, recover? I forget what it was. He had a reasonable thing. I come back after work and check the freaking logs, and this guy, like, gifted himself, like, everything he ever wanted. It was unbelievable. And then I get on my bird and fly over to his place, and it's like he built Neverland Ranch out of stone. Like, he got, like, giant walls and towers and all kinds of stuff he didn't. It's like, and then I rolled the server back. I'm like, yeah, I'm not even dealing with this. And he freaking flipped out on me, like, what's with the power trip? It's like, wait, the power trip? Power trip? Like, seriously, how is my undoing your power trip a power trip? You know? But, yeah, if I ever have anybody else on this server, they need to know. Why do I keep doing that? They need to know that, I'm keeping it vanilla. Now, if there's ridiculous things, or you get screwed, like if I come to find out that taming is still totally jacked and it's going to take like 4 hours of diligence and nothing going wrong to tame a T-Rex, I might dial that back. At one point they nerfed they just nerfed the crap out of the freaking birds. And it was like, you know, how it was a big part of how I was progressing, and suddenly my birds sucked. And I got ticked about that, so I fixed it. I undid their update, essentially. So, I don't, like, go out and try to change stuff, but it's nice to have the power to fix things that go sideways. Whether that just be, like, a bug, or whether they decide to change the game in some weird way. And I'm thinking about just locking the server in on a particular patch, and then I don't update my client, I don't update the server, and it's always ready to go. Seriously, what kind of updates are they going to be having that, like, would really matter? Like, they got I like the island. Like, I thought about doing the center, but the laptop that I'm running this on is pretty much at its limit as far as running a server. Well, maybe once or twice an hour you'll get, like, a little hiccup, like a 1 second rollback, but it doesn't happen very often. Also, doing 30 frames per second for a couple of reasons. One, this is the kind of game where 60 frames per second can get pretty nauseating, especially if I'm moving around inside, like, you know, a building or something. That's like the nausinator for me. Also, you know, ARK is really, really poorly optimized, especially for AMD. So, like, you'll think, this is a game where, like, if you enjoy tweaking your graphics settings, it's a mini game in this game, because you'll think you'll have everything all straightened out, and like, yeah, I got, you know, I'm getting the most bang for my buck, you know, I'm hitting the frame rate I need with the maximum quality. And then it's like, oh, you never, it never rained during sunset with a small amount of fog, did it? Okay, you're down to like 35 frames per second, you know, out of the blue, but it's only going to happen like once in a while, so it literally can take like weeks to get your graphics settings tweaked out for this game because there's so many random things that if they come together and they're not optimized all that well, they'll just bring your frame rate down. So I'm like, seems like going 30 solves a bunch of problems at the same time. Plus trying to stream a game that is this unstable. Well, unstable isn't fair. Such variable hardware requirements, let's say. Kind of hard to stream, especially if you're streaming on the same PC. Although I probably could run the server and play at the same time. Just it's nice to offload some of the load onto something else. No, this is basically designed to be like the ultimate defense platform against, you know, dinosaurs of varying size and flight. It's kind of like a big version of what I do when I make the boat. Me and my daughter used to play ARK together, and we'd go on expeditions. I think at the time I was doing that non-dedicated thing where you're kind of like tethered to each other, and there's some comedy there. The number of cliffs I pulled her off of, and most of the time it wasn't even on purpose. But like you're going on an expedition in the boat up there, and you know I'm driving, and like she's like, "Oh my God, we're getting chased!" We got chased by, I don't know what it was. It was like a giant freaking shark, and somehow it was getting around all the stone and attacking the raft directly, and everything on the boat is attached to the raft. So it knocked the raft down to where it was almost destroyed. Because you can kind of see the raft, you know, down there. But you can build, you know, stone and even metal all around it. But at one patch they made it so you couldn't completely keep, like there was a little vulnerable spot in the center. And somehow this, I forget what it's called, I'm bad with names. It almost destroyed the raft. And as we're pulling in, because, you know, we were going from like an area around here up to like a beachfront that I was trying to establish up by the frost line. Megalodon? That might have been it. Look, and the boat has like 200 hit points left. Out of, I don't know, a lot. I don't know, it was down to almost gone. And it's like, oh my God, one more hit and it would have lost the entire raft and we'd have just been trying to swim back to shore. And everything on the boat. Probably too. I don't see myself getting another boat and getting out there and rescuing the stuff off the first boat, because definitely more than you could carry while swimming. Oh. And then that's another thing with the game. Like, you can lose hard. You know, things can go really, really bad and lose a lot of progress. Oh, see if I can make it do the thing. That's not doing the thing. There it is. Creepy. You want to know what your face looks like from the inside? Oh. I do love this game. I'm going to be streaming more. I got some other stuff I want to do at the moment. You know what? Let's finish it. One thing I do love is the orbit cam. God, talk about a guy you'd never want to run into in the dark. Jesus. Oh well. Thanks for joining me. I will catch you all later. I am the Expert Layman. You have a great weekend.